Yeah, hi folks, it's Chet from Tag Along with Chet here. You'll probably notice this waviness in the pictures here, and that's from the aircraft the camera stabilization, which is an auto stabilization system that's built into the cameras, and it's trying to dampen out the jitteriness of the mount. I haven't found a good place to mount this camera yet, so it'll dampen out the jitteriness of the actual camera that's sitting on the window. So my apologies for that. I'll see if I can find a better place to position the camera next time.
Okay, folks. Well, we're gonna try get another hour or so on this airplane because. As you know, I just got a number one cylinder changed, and it needs a good run-in, so we're going to do another hour of run-in and see how that works. So far so good. I did about an hour and 15 minutes, but I got to see my cylinder head temperatures come down, or see that cylinder head temperature come down on that one cylinder, because it's pretty tight right now. So I'm just monitoring that end of it. It's the number one cylinder that was changed. So we're just taxiing out of my hangar now. I didn't have time last time. I only put an hour and 15 minutes on it, so I'd like to put at least another hour on it, because these temperatures are still, or the temperature on that cylinder head is still a little too high. So the other ones are all fine. They're all running around 345, 48, something like that. So that's good. So let's get this run up done. I don't know, this camera's still jiggling a little bit too much for my liking. We'll see what happens on takeoff. Okay, so I got to do the run up now. So seatbelts are on and the seats secure. Light controls, they're all fine. Flight instruments. Okay, mixtures, rich, throttle, magnetos. Okay, got to do a quick run up here because don't like to run it too long on that. The wind is from the southwest, southwest, and so we'll take off on runway 16. That requires the backtrack. So our grass strip, that's the one we just passed out here. It's closed. They're going to start seeing if they can get some work done on it once it dries out a little bit more, and hopefully that'll be before next week, because I understand next week it's going to be pretty wet. And judging from what my neighbor was telling me, we may even be getting some snow after the around the first week of September or of October. So that's southern Alberta weather for you. However, that's the way it goes. There you go, runway 16.
Folks, traffic is off Alpha Delta Park, start on the downwind 416.
Okay, so fuel pressure's alright. So I'll turn the landing lights on. I'll transponder on 1200, 122.8. And Vulcan traffic, Charlie November is departing runway 16. It'll be a straight up departure. Vulcan. Okay, I hope that camera there isn't vibrating too much. I'm just going to turn it a bit here. Okay, that cylinder head temperature is still reading a lot. See, everything else is 330, 351 is the highest I got on number 4. The other ones are all below that.
Okie traffic is Golf Alpha Delta Foxtrot, backtrack 16, taxi.
So I'll take her up to 5,500 feet and see what happens here. No, that's not bad. It is starting to go down. So I'd like to get at least another hour on her here. Yeah, actually it is going down. And that's good. Number 2 is 315, number 3 is 364, and number 4 is 365. So number 2 is the coolest one so far. And number 1 is around 400, so that's not bad. So, like I said, I'll take her up to 5,500 feet. And
traffic, Cessna 120, Foxtrot Juliet.
and start leaning her out. Oh yeah, now it's starting to come down nicely. 397, 396, 395, and I haven't touched the power, so 395, 394, 393. Looks like it's starting to break in nicely here. 392. Okay, and we're at 5,500 feet just coming up here.
Oak traffic, Juliet Yankee India rolling on the backtrack for 16. Oak traffic, Delta Charlie X-ray, taxing off on the hold for 16.
I'm gonna take this camera off of here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. It's 389. So we can level her out here. So I'm just going to trim it now. Okay, pull the power back. At 5,500 feet I should be getting about 26, 25. So we'll pull it back a bit here. Yeah, okay, cruise here. 363. That's with it lean back. Okay, 8.5 gallons a minute. Sorry, 8.5 gallons an hour US. So we'll head out to a little bull out here. Just I've been in the air for about 10 minutes now.
Approximately 3 miles to the south of Okotoks.
Yeah, it's not vibrating as much as it used to.
Okotoks area for the next 15 minutes or so. 5,000 volts.
So let's see how many people are camping out here still. I noticed some guys coming out to go fishing, so. So that's the area there. I've showed you this before anyway, so it's nothing new to you folks. Like I said, this is just strictly a test type flight to get that cylinder broken in. So you've seen this all before, but I just want to let you know that things are good now. The cylinder, it looks like it's starting to break in nicely here. I'm getting good speeds now, which maybe I wasn't before. Like right now, I'm not even at my cruise setting yet. I should be at about 26, 25. I'm at about 26 right now. And I'm indicating 110 knots. There's hardly any wind up here. Ground speed is 106 knots. So I'm quite happy with that. So if you look down there, that's that little bowl. That's the little bowl park. And yeah, I can still see RVs parked down there and trailers. So it's not too warm for that, but it's supposed to be a good weekend. So That's kind of nice to have that latter part, because what is it? Last day of summer. Yeah, there's still quite a few guys in there. Last kick of the cat. That's good. Yeah, still quite a few cars in the parking lot down there too. I don't know if you can see them, but where the boats are launched. And there's a few boats out there. They're probably out there fishing, because I understand it's a pretty good fishing area in here. And of course, Alberta wouldn't be Alberta unless it had all these wind generators out here. And there's quite a few of them out in this neck of the woods. Actually, the further south you go into here, the more there are. But these darn things aren't moving very fast. I'd be surprised if there's one revolution per minute in here. But there's quite a few of them. There's, you can see them down there. And another thing that they're doing out here, about 45 kilometers, or about 30 miles, I guess, east of Vulcan. And maybe we should head out that way. They're building a solar, putting up a whole pile of solar panels. So it's a solar farm, I guess. But yeah, it's supposed to be starting. I think it's next year they're starting to build it, and it's supposed to be one of the largest in Canada that I know of. So they're taking some land that I guess isn't all that agriculturally friendly, so they're filling it full of solar panels. Okay, we're 378 on that number 1 cylinder. Number 2 cylinder is 338. Number 3 cylinder is 341. And number 4 cylinder is 338. So they're all within my acceptable limit. I usually like it around 380. So that one will probably, that number 1 cylinder should more than likely go down in line with the other ones. So that took about, I guess about an hour and a half to break that cylinder in. Of course, I got that break in oil as well, and I'll get that changed. I'll probably go back. If things are good next week, on Thursday, I might head on back and see if I can get, if I should get that oil changed back to the norm. Because I take that Shell, that 1550, as sort of a synthetic, semi-synthetic. Let's see what am I burning. It's still 8.5. That's a 377. And we'll stay up for a while longer. So what time is it? It's 11:45. I don't know if I showed you this, guys. I guess you can see it on this camera, but I built this neat little map holder, flight plan holder, clipboard holder, whatever. I know, and I've probably said this before, on the 737s, maintenance used to get really peeved off, throw them up there. And of course it would leave, they'd sit there and you just throw them up and they'd scratch. So on the 737s, the old 200s, this goes way back, they put little sleeves made out of, I think they were made out of metal. They were up here. Right? Actually, they were on this side. And you just take your clipboard and you would just slide it in there. I think it was on this side because the first officer did all the work anyway, so he did all the paperwork. So, and of course that's where it always would end up on that side. So I built this, and it's just Velcroed on. It's just got a little Velcro strips along the side here, and I made this up did it all nicely around, painted it flat black, and it's just big enough to hold this. See, see that? It's just big enough to hold it, and this will just slide right in there. And now you don't have this clipboard hanging around. I know they've got a clipboard thing here, or pouches here and there, and yeah, they're all nice. But I have other stuff in there as well, and I find to put the clipboard in there, especially beside the seat, always bugged me because it would hit the side of my leg. So I put this other pouch right here, as you can see, and that's where I've got all my, well, I've got a map in here, which I don't use too much anymore, and I've got a lot of reference stuff in here as well. So, yeah, so I'm kind of happy with that. If I go where I'm heading to now, down in this area, which right now we're just east of Vulcan. This is the area somewhere in here where they're putting the solar panels, and I would think it would probably be in that area where you see the that brown area, because I think if you look over there, in that area over there, straight in front of us, I think that's probably where it's going to be, because it's on a slight incline as well, sort of uphill from here, and the sun is obviously in the southern, more to the south here, so that's where the panels will probably deflect better. So, and that doesn't look like there's any agricultural land there, so that's probably the area where they're going to put it. That'll be interesting to fly over, I'll tell you that. It'll probably blind you. So that's supposed to take place sometime, I believe, starting next year sometime. So as you can see, I haven't actually touched the controls too much. The airplane is pretty stable. Okay, we're at 381 here now. 340 on number 2, 342 on number 3, and 340 on number 4. So 380 now on number 1. So that's still my hottest cylinder, but it is going down. I mean, when you consider this, when I took off there, it was at around 411. We're maintaining altitude here. It's still 5,500 feet, and I haven't touched the controls. Yeah, this looks like a lot of barren land out here, so this is probably where it's going to be in this area. Because there are areas to the east here where it's starting, where it's a little greener, so it's probably this area here. And as you can see, in this area, there's not much in the way of agricultural land. If it is, it's maybe not even much for grazing, because it's pretty brown in here. So it's probably in this area where they're going to put it. So at 378 now. I think it's supposed to get a little more windy there this afternoon, so I can see some ripples starting up on Lake McGregor in front of me here. Okay, that's Lake McGregor in front of us out there, and you can see some ripples already starting, so we're getting a bit of a headwind, so it'll probably be more of a pronounced southwesterly flow starting. And of course, way in the distance, which you probably can't see with this camera, is the rock pile, the Rockies. Nothing up there yet in the way of snow. I understand in the interior, though, going up to Jasper, there was some snow in that area. Of course, I used to do tour bus driving up there, which yeah, I don't do anymore now. I sometimes get itchy feet, but I like to do it again, but I don't know. There's just too much going on with the rest of the industry that I'm not too happy with, so. Temperature on cylinder number 1 is 354. Cylinder number 2 is 315. 3 is 343. At 4, it's 347. So it's come down considerably. Vulcan traffic, it's Cherokee Charlie, Charlie November, 10 mile to the, make that 8 mile to the northeast. We're at 6,500 on a gradual descent for an overhead arrival. Vulcan traffic, Charlie, Charlie November. Vulcan traffic, Charlie, Charlie November, 3 miles to the northeast of the field. It's 6,000 for a gradual descent overhead for an overhead arrival. Vulcan traffic, Charlie, Charlie November. So hopefully it's still runway 16. Vulcan traffic, Charlie, Charlie November, overhead the field. We'll be joining for a left downwind runway 16. Vulcan traffic, Charlie, Charlie November. Vulcan traffic, Charlie, Charlie November is established on a left downwind runway 16. Full stop, Vulcan. Okay, boost pumps on, landing lights are on. Mixture's rich. I don't know, give it a notch of flap here. Vulcan traffic, Charlie, Charlie November, turning final, runway 16, full stop, Vulcan. And Vulcan traffic, Charlie, Charlie November is clearing runway 16, Vulcan. Okay, thanks for coming along, folks. It was just a little quickie flight. Hope this is all turning out, because I'd like to let you folks know that everything seems to be running tickety-boo here with the engine now. So we're just taxiing back in here now, and we're going to shut her down and shove her back in the hangar, and we're going to go home for lunch. Maybe have a tomato sandwich from the tomatoes I'm growing out beside my hangar here. So again, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.